Is a seasoned university instructor in theater, speech communication in English, basic English, humanities, arts education, Philippine literature in English for over 20 years, taught in several universities in the Philippines and outside the country. Highly experienced facilitator, resource person for English language learning through drama for foreign students. A stage director, acting coach, and curriculum design for educational drama. An experienced discipline head for speech and theater, or the tertiary education. A strongly engaged member of the School Governing Council, or SGC, for secondary education at Milan National High School. A children theater director, facilitator at Piningan Elementary School, Tuba, Benguet, through partnership. An active resource person trainer on indigenous theater for teachers in the elementary and secondary schools. A highly engaged art and culture event organizer. A service-oriented cultural worker in community theater. An active trainer, resource person, and a director for developmental theater in cultural communities, schools and research institutions. A documentary film director for Rise Science, Technology, and Rise Awareness. Strong corporate skills specializing in training management and employee engagement. A curriculum designer and trainer for hospitality and industry. And taught basic education or English conversation, internet, English, public speaking, and intercurricular communication. Coach, contestant in the University English Speech Festival. Organized the 19th English Speech Festival 2013 of the universities. And she has a lot of specialized training. Silew Corporation. She worked at Silew Corporation Philippines, instructor lecturer at the University of the Philippines Baguio, instructor at the Philippine Military Academy, reviewer at the St. Louis Review Center Baguio City, assistant professor St. Louis University, instructor Benguet State University, La Trinidad Benguet, advisor, SLSU Collegian Official School Paper, Central School State University, Nueva Ecija, and instructor at Central Luzon State University. And lastly, we have the freelance theater artist. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome a multi-talented speaker for this morning, a Montañosa Film Festival Couple Awardee. Please help me welcome Ms. Lynette Carantes-Bibal for her talk, Notes from a Legaloid Artist. Welcome, Madam.
Thank you. Oh, thank you very much. It seems like my apologies, I should have shortened the description, but anyway, right now I feel more relaxed and more at home when I just describe myself as an artist and a storyteller. Okay. So, yes, after how many years of teaching in the academy, at my age I came to realize, or my heart really lies, and it's still with the arts. And so right now I am fully engaged in the practice of my first love, which is theater. And in the past months, I have already decided to engage also into film. So this is a team presentation, so that with me is Mr. Clint M, who is of course one of those who have inspired me to engage into film, together with another local filmmaker, Julius Lumide. Okay, so, but I would like to start with a simple expectation check. Okay, can we have the first slide, sir, please? I borrowed the term, I consulted one on the term that would be most, at least, pagtusyo. Okay? Appropriate for this, and I have entitled it as, and we actually, with Mom, right, had coined it as Pantusyo, which, based on my consultation with some Ibaloy elders, would or could mean sharing, right? You know, imparting. But in the context of the education sector, of course, we would describe it as teaching or, you know, sharing of knowledge. Okay, so Another description that I would like to give to this presentation, our subtitle to this would be Advocating Cultural Heritage Through Art. The term advocacy is really a very strong term because it strengthens, right? It sounds the strong need to raise appreciation and awareness among our learners, our children, and the future generation. Next slide, please. Let's start first with an exploratory talk and an exploratory discussion. An overview. I usually start with random ideas. That's how I am. So please, I may not present my whole material in a subject matter structure the way it should be, but I would rather tell a story. And from that story that I will be narrating, maybe there's something that our participants might be able to draw from. It all depends. It's in my heart right now to simply render a story. And that is the main reason why we look at narratives as the main point and focus of this whole presentation. And within is cultural heritage and education, art, focus Baguio artists. And then the latter part would be, of course, an introduction to film as pedagogy, Pengsasan, culture and history in focus. So as we will see, okay, Ma'am has mentioned earlier, and Sir, of course, has already mentioned the importance of cultural heritage and education. And I like the insight on that it is life. Culture is life itself. And so is art. Art is a way of life. If I may quote that with Pharisee, it's not the product, but also the process. This is a very strong description that has stuck to my mind for years, and you will know who has made me internalize this definition of art. And I am glad to also realize that art has been treated as a tool or as a means to cut across, as a tool to enhance all learning competencies in all subject areas and learnings, okay? So, the narrative is the focal point. I am going to tell a story, and this is a story and a story, okay? So, what is important about stories? This is exactly the main channel through which heritage is transmitted, through which culture is transmitted. And what am I going to do right now is a narrative of an artist, the narrative of a family, and how the story of the father and the daughter have together seen the world as artists. Okay? So, if I may ask and start the discussion first, okay? I would like to ask any of the participants in relation to how art was used in their subject area. And this should be at least my take point or my springboard for discussion. So if we have participants who are willing to share, like just a few seconds, as to how art and what activities have they utilized in class. Can we have a little forum on this, ma'am? Ano lang to? This is just like more exploratory. Yes.
Okay, so they can also voice out their responses. They can unmute your microphone and participate with us. Okay, so there are some who shared with us their answers. Art is the oxygen that makes the other subjects breathe.
Wow.
That
What a
is
wonderful-
coming from...
Art is an oxygen.
Okay,
It's oxygen.
taken from Sir. From also. So, intensify.
What about how it is being used in enriching at least the learning experience of their pupils or students, and how is it used to target certain competencies. I'm confident it's actually being used and utilized right now. Because what I will show in the next slides is actually just a presentation of a subject or an example.
We are encouraging our participants online to unmute your microphone if you would like to share with us your responses. Or you're going to place it on the chat box.
Yes, can we have that in the chat box and it could be read? No, like I said, ma'am. I was hearing from ma'am a while ago about social studies on Panlipunan.
Okay, we have here a word from Jenny Concepcion. Arts is integrated culture in different genres like short story, legend, and others.
Okay, thank you for that.
Thank you so much for participating. We encourage more participants from the online.
Okay, from Sir Greg Barocha, for arts, the expression or application of human creative skill and imagination.
Okay, very interesting inputs and insights.
Thank you, Sir Greg.
Okay, we can have the last two. If there's anyone else who would like to join in, I just want to know if we are on the same page.
Okay, thank you, Ma'am Rosemary, for sharing with us your thoughts. She mentioned that my grade 1 pupils sang the song in the heart of a seed. They wore costumes. One wore that one of the sun, the other a seed. The